Hi, welcome to the Cocky Gamers podcast. We're here at the Kennedy Greenhouse at the University of South Carolina. I'm Chris, and with me today is
Scott.
And I'm Sam.
And so, what are y'all playing right now?
What am I playing?
Are you playing anything? Do you want to talk about games?
I'm playing Final Fantasy Stormblood because it's fantastic. It's their MMO because I don't like any of the other games. She's mad about it, but I don't like them. It's just... what about you?
I'm replaying Pokemon Moon because Lycanroc is the best. Yeah, I'm that shallow. I love my dogs.
I'm really salty that there's going to be a new form in Ultra Sun and Moon.
No one cares.
And it doesn't even look like it has anything different.
It looks like Midday just got stuck in some Doritos puff.
Right, and they're adding in like the Z Lycanroc move, and that's the only thing they're adding to it.
That looks cool though.
It does, but still.
I mean, every form can use it though.
It's still dumb. It's just, and then you have the lollipop looking, what are they called? The Ultra Beast, the one who looks like a lollipop.
The clown one.
I don't like him. He looks
I'm gonna name mine Pennywise.
Oh, I don't like you. I'm playing nothing because school's hard and I don't have time for games. I'm revisiting 15 because they're putting out...
The 15th what?
Final Fantasy 15 because they're putting out a new content they're shoving content in the middle of the 12th chapter of the game. So now I have to replay the whole game just to get to the new content. Paid? No, it's free content. They're just shoved in the middle of the chapter.
So you have to replay to understand what's going on?
If I want to see the scene, because I just started New Game Plus and I'm still in chapter 1.
Ew. Ew.
So they have added chapter selection, but I'm not sure how that's going to work, so we'll find that out today. But speaking of 15, they've announced that they're going to continue to update the game through 2018, but the director announced in a Japanese magazine that it's expensive to make content, so they're probably going to end up charging for a second season pass. And we all know how that happened with Evolve, and now Evolve is free to play because they made a second season pass.
But it costs money. It's Enix, though.
It's right? It's Enix. They already have my money.
Of course it costs money, but...
And the way they were wording it when they were doing... Because all of this was voted upon by the...
Japanese?
By the players. Oh. No, you'd log in and it'd be like, what kind of story content do you want? Do you want about Regis? Do you want it about the summons? What do you want? And we would take polls. And the way they worded it was, we want to bring you more content that'll go along with like your season pass. And I was like, oh, cool. Because
in addition to not included in?
The way they worded it made it sound like it was included in the first season pass.
That's some good lawyering right there.
So it's, I mean, I like the 4 episodes we got, and I like the updates they've done to the car, but it's just kind of...
Yeah, but I heard like a couple of those episodes were just filler. Like there was the beach episode and the baseball episode.
Oh my God. You're terrible. I was like, for a second, I was like, they're kind of wait a second. But they're really cool because each episode plays differently than than the main game because they all have different fighting styles. So that's
so it's
fun.
like side stories.
Yeah, they're side stories.
Okay, yeah.
Because
I don't play 15, so I'm not aware of any of this.
There are a couple characters who disappear throughout the game, and they eventually join your party back, but it's why they disappeared and what was going on when they left.
Oh. Okay.
So I like it. I dig it. It's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's the car trip with 4 members of Boyzone, but that's about it.
Yes, it's the boy band Final Fantasy.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Listen, it makes sense. It's based off of medieval mythology.
Aren't they goths?
They're not they're not.
They were like black leather in the middle of a desert.
Listen,
I saw the gameplay trailers.
Listen. What had happened was...
What had happened?
They had to keep
Noctis
cool.
is a prince. He's super broody, and the 3 guys with him are part of his...
Oh, you mean Sasuke? Yeah, I saw him.
Oh, I don't know why. All right. They're
Sasuke.
They are his Crown's Guard, and that's part of their uniform.
Crew.
Because they're not official King's Guard. They don't have an official uniform yet. They're just in all black.
Are you talking about after Orochimaru Sasuke or before?
Listen, you have to talk not... Listen, no matter how much I play Final Fantasy, I don't understand anime.
Oh.
What?
I've never seen any Naruto.
Well, as much as I understand anime, I don't understand Final Fantasy.
You just make the cute little neckos? I assume you make the Neko girls.
I do not.
Oh, what do you make?
They're called Mikotes, aren't they?
They look like they're Nekos.
I do not. I would make the Aura or a human, actually.
Which one's the... Is that the weird elf
The
looking
Aura
one?
are the one with the horns and the tail, and they look like dragon people.
See,
and
because
they're really
I'm...
tiny if you're a female, but they're huge if you're a male.
Because I haven't paid for it,
I'm so
I am not allowed to
lost.
play those.
Yes.
It's like grayed out, so
Yeah.
I've seen them.
You have to pay for all three, like the main game and then the 2 expansions,
Yeah.
which is like it
What
goes.
game are we on now?
We're talking
the
about Final Fantasy XIV.
The store.
A Realm Reborn, because Final Fantasy XIV got
Yes. Oh,
yeah.
scrapped.
Yes.
Were you there for that fiasco?
I was not.
My friend was playing from the original incarnation, and she logged on one day, and they're like, sorry, we shut the servers down. And she's like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Just don't tell anybody. They didn't tell anybody. They just logged on. They're like, we shut the servers down, and we're reworking the game. And she was like,
That's really sad.
that's
Yeah.
cool.
But it came back fantastic.
It did.
I love it. It's so great. Mog Station has way too much of my money. Thank you, Square Enix, for that.
Square always takes my money.
It takes my money.
I paid way too much for Final Fantasy 15 because I collect steelbooks, and the Final Fantasy series has the best steelbooks.
Oh, I got one of those.
So I have 12 and I got 15. 15 was like $90. 8 days. So right after the return window of GameStop, I see it in Best Buy for half off. And I was like, I can't return this. Right? And I was like, this is my life. I should have just I should have waited.
Girl.
That's pretty much all of our life mottos.
Yeah.
No.
If we were smart, we'd wait to buy Skyrim when it's $5. So.
Well, like, Mog Station was having this sale where everything was 40% off until my birthday, so it's the 25th, a couple days ago. And I was like, okay, whatever. And one of my friends was like, because everything is 40% off, and because you are this dark magic mage thing or whatever, you start off as a thaumaturge and then you get dark mage or whatever.
I love the Thermaturge.
It's a black
outfit.
mage, actually. I'm wrong. He get on me because I kept calling it a dark mage, but it's not. It's a black mage, whatever. And I like to dress up as like the cute witches and put on the witch hats because they're pointy and like all the long skirts that flow when I use magic. And he's like, I will buy you the witch's broom, which is usually around Halloween. And I was waiting for the Halloween event, but everything was 40% off, so got me that witch's broom. It was $8. Square Enix.
They have and it's only $2, and I'm like, I must resist the urge. You can take photos in 15. One of the characters carries around a photo. They actually, the
They
photos.
carry around a photo.
They do carry around photos, but he carries around a camera, and he's always taking photos in the middle of battle. That actually plays later on in the game, but you can pay $2 and get a new camera that's supposed to take better photos, and I'm like, I want it.
Are you serious?
But I'm not paying $2 for a camera kit. Just like they have $2 and you get fishing lures, and like they're like the second best in the game. The first best you can just get in the game for free. And I'm like, why would I pay $2 if it's not even the best one?
I imagine for early game though, like I assume you could.
Everyone else's skill ratings are maxed out, and then Noctis is like at level 4 in fishing, and that's not even halfway to maxed out. I don't use it. I kill chocobos. I don't kill chocobos. I get. You can get their eggs, and you can cook their eggs.
Oh.
Yeah.
You kill baby chocobos.
No, you don't kill baby chocobos. You save a black chocobo, and it's really cute and fat. But you like whenever you
Oh
kill.
wait, I think I saw something. You can give chocobos paint jobs now, can't
Yes, you can.
Yes.
You can give them paint jobs.
Yeah.
And it's pretty great.
And-
my chocobros, as they're called, all have different
Yeah.
colored chocobos.
In 14, it's really, really, really hard because you have to keep. In 14, it's really hard because you have to keep feeding them certain colored foods until finally, once you hit like 100 foods or whatever, I haven't done it because it's too much work and I'm stuck with my witch's broom instead of my chocobo mount because I just don't care. You can finally dye them.
Yeah, see, you have to buy and or find the food, and the food's very difficult because you have to beat the chocobo races. And after like the second chocobo race, it's like, okay, we're turning off easy mode now. And I was like, oh, because my chocobo's
okay.
skills are completely maxed out, and I still can't beat the chocobo races.
You're basically telling me how to do this in my game because there's chocobo races in the casino. So like, that's probably
They're-
where I need to go.
I hate chocobo
Man, this
races.
is y'all are gonna be. Crystal, you know this. The only Final Fantasy game I've ever played like completion is Final Fantasy 13, and in that game they're basically ostriches.
I've never. I got through. Let's see. I got through the cutscene, and then I remember I took
There's a chick that lives in someone's afro.
I know, I love the chocobo in his afro, but I got down the hallway, and I got down the hallway, and I got to like the first save, and it kept cutting. You'd walk, and then it'd be a cutscene, and then you'd walk, and then it'd be a cutscene.
Yeah, that's the game.
Before you get to the save point, so I was like, and I'm turning this off. I think I saved and never turned the game back on.
I love it.
No,
I
I
don't have
just
experience with the MMO.
Yeah.
give him a try.
I played one turn-based, and I got really angry.
See, 12, 13, 15, those are the ones I've played. Those aren't turn-based. They're open world.
Okay.
12 has a very weird battle system where you can see the, like, if you attack something, you can actually see the trajectory. And that's always really weird, trying to figure things out. And
I don't know. I played one when,
like that
when the PS3 first came out. And I don't remember.
Oh, those giant ones you could smash people with.
what was on the PS3? That would have been 13, wouldn't it have?
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably... Was it a chick with pink hair?
Yes.
That
and it was
was
very fancy looking.
Final Fantasy
It was so
13.
fancy. There were
Yeah.
so many
Those
fancy
trajectories.
cutscenes. I was like, what is
Lightning.
this?
Yeah.
And then she was running around on a beach, or somebody was. I was playing as someone, and I was like, this is stupid.
Was that a sequel? I don't know that one.
I don't know.
Oh, that was the sequel. Yeah, on the beach. That's Final Fantasy 13 too. Like.
Oh, there's 3 Final Fantasy 13s, because there's like
Why?
2, and then there's like Lightning Returns, isn't there?
Then why
Yeah.
wouldn't that be 14 and 15?
There's
That's
Because
not
that's a
true.
continuation of the story?
No,
Yes.
Okay, the way the
Kinda.
Final Fantasy games work is they don't tie in together.
It's
They
just-
have a couple of things that tie the world, the mythos together, but
So unless it's a point something, it has nothing to do with
pretty
the other
much,
ones?
like
Yeah.
10 doesn't have anything to do with 12.
Okay.
Has nothing to do with 13. Has nothing to do with 1. They have some character classes that show back up. They have like the chocobos, and someone's always named Sid, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, 15 was part of 13 when originally it was in development.
It originally was, and then they scrapped it, and then it was part of their spin-off series with Type 0,
Yeah.
which, by the way, is a mature rated Final Fantasy game. Was not expecting that.
What's up with the Moogles? Because I think they're adorable, but like my friend keeps telling me just leave them alone or just don't talk about them
It
because they
depends.
irritate him.
I don't know. I guess it depends on the game. They also just go Kupo.
Yeah. Well, your weapon
Kupo,
in
yeah.
13 too is a mogul that can change its shape.
Oh.
But 10, you played that?
Yes.
Lulu?
Lulu just kind of chucks dolls, and they go in and
Well,
like
she doesn't
smack
chuck 'em,
somebody,
She just puts them on the ground and is like, okay, I'm going to walk to you now.
and they just hit them.
Yeah.
But like in 15, the Moogle does absolutely nothing. It's literally a stuffed animal that you carry around for good luck. And you can you can do is you get about 10 of them, and you can throw them in the middle of a battle, and it'll be like a distraction, and then you can run away.
So it's like a polka doll.
Same.
That's all
Look
it
at this
is.
cute thing.
But I really like the Moogle, so I never got rid of them. I'm just like, they're mine.
That's kind of
And then there's a Moogle festival, which is
Yeah, we have a Moogle
the
festival.
Moogle festival is so bad.
Is it? Ours
It's
is good.
okay. Well, it's annoying. I didn't play it in January when it first showed up, but you got a Dream Egg. You couldn't do anything with the Dream Egg until this new festival came out, and surprise, the Dream Egg unlocks an Assassin's Creed outfit.
Choke for the chocobo?
No,
Right, for the-
for Noctis, he gets an
Oh.
Assassin's Creed, like, you get 2 of them. You can get hood off or hood on, so he's an assassin master, and it's...
Making him even
Wow.
more edgy
That-
than he already is.
That festival was so terrible because it's basically trying to emulate Assassin's Creed, so you actually have to use stealth and, like, assassinate people
Why?
because they got paid a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
But I like it though because his friends, like Noctis goes and he'll like start quoting like the Assassin's Creed, and they'll be like, "You're taking the cosplay too far, honey," and he's like, "No, but I'm an assassin now." And they're like, "Okay, it's time to get you out of that costume."
that's sad.
The American voice actors, they let them be so sarcastic, and it's beautiful because they have like sponsorships in the game,
Yeah.
like Coleman Camping Gear, American Express. American Express made exclusive Final Fantasy 15 credit cards in Japan, and you got like X amount of like free credit basically if you bought that credit card and bought the game with a certain amount of like yen attached to it. You got like special stuff because you bought the Final Fantasy. You got the credit card.
Japan is basically just a giant video game.
They're
right?
they're just a giant advertisement is all it is. But like Nison Cup Noodle paid them $65 million for a quest and advertisement. And the Japanese voice actors are like super sincere about it. They're like, Cup Noodle is really good and all this, and the American
I
voice actors are like,
remember this.
Cup Noodle is the best thing Did you know they went through 60 varieties of shrimp to find the best taste and color? And it's like,
Well, that's too bad because I'm gonna buy ramen.
right, and it's like
me buy that
just
Maruchan,
for
not
that
sponsored.
quest, all of them are
Hundred
very
packs
like
for $2.
I love top ramen, but like
Oh my.
just for the cup noodle quest, the voice actors just turned off their like ability to voice act, and they're like, cup noodle is so good.
Well, I mean, we know what happens. Like, look at the Transformers movie. Michael Bay was pretty much lynched in the street for like those Mountain Dew stuff.
I haven't seen a Transformer since like the first Transformers.
I think that was in the second one that the Mountain Dew bot came.
Mountain Dew.
Yeah, a Mountain Dew, just a vending machine that's branded that turned into. I
remember
assume a
that.
Are you
Decepticon.
serious?
I
I'm completely
remember
serious.
that, yeah.
I'm completely serious.
Best way to get Mountain Dew integrated with Transformers. Make a Transformers out of a Mountain Dew
No, but I
vending
think it was a
machine.
Decepticon too. It was like one of the bad guys.
It
Oh
was
my
a
gosh.
Decepticon, yeah.
To be fair, those movies are
They
make a
are,
ton of money,
they
though,
are
so-
made to sell toys, just like Digimon's made to sell Tamagotchi, and you know.
Yeah, except Digimon's actually deep and makes me feel things.
It makes you feel things.
What?
I
Didn't
no.
watch Digimon.
You didn't watch
Didn't
Digimon?
watch Digimon.
Oh,
I was a
no.
Pokemon child.
No, I was.
Yeah.
I was kind of mixed between the two, but I love Digimon.
When I first got my Digivice, I like abandoned because I had a Pokedex and I had a Pokeball.
Oh my gosh.
And I used to carry it around and be like, I've got a Pokedex. And then I got a Digivice, and then my friends started chucking Pokeballs at my head because I abandoned them because I was like, Digimon's way cooler. And they're
Wait,
like,
weren't the Pokeballs made of like hard plastic back
They
then?
were.
the ones I had, it was the one that was actually a game inside of the Pokeball.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
That one didn't get chucked at me, but
That
Yeah,
would
that-
suck.
it was way too big. Like, I have small hands, and that thing is like this
I
big.
remember when like Happy Meal toys and stuff like that were good.
Yeah.
See,
You
that
know?
wasn't a Happy Meals toy though. I don't know where it came from, but somehow someone just gave me a Pokeball, and it's like this big, and you open it, and it's one of those.
I
It's one of
remember
those
seeing
light games where you
commercials
have
for
to
that.
tilt.
Oh, I want to say this. I've got the best grandparents ever because they took me, my cousin who's a year younger than me, and my two older cousins to see the second Pokemon movie in theaters.
Very nice.
Yes. We each got that golden slab that I thought was chocolate at the beginning, Mew thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
That's still around my dad's house somewhere.
I have a golden Togepi that I got from like Burger King somewhere.
Oh my god, Togepi is the cutest little thing.
My granddad, because he owned a business where he would teach people the contracting tests to like be a licensed contractor.
Oh.
He was technically an educational business, so he would get all these magazines to get wholesale like VHS educational things. So I had somehow Pokemon was lumped into that, and Nat Geo Wild, which was their kid show.
Yeah.
So my
Oh.
like I had a little like really cool like bookcase that you would open, and it was just all of my VHS, and it was just like Pokemon, like Magic School Bus, and Nat Geo.
I remember Magic School Bus. My mom was a teacher, and what, James?
Hey,
Hey.
by the way, y'all haven't heard me because I haven't been on mic yet, but I'm James. Y'all can't see me, I'm off camera.
He's a brain
So-
in a jar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I think it's time to transition. We've been going for about 15 minutes.
Okay.
Bye,
So
Story.
you want to talk about, let's start with the Atari box.
I didn't realize they were making a new console until
Me either.
James told me, and he was like, "It's like $250." I was like, "What are you even talking about?" I thought it was something akin to like the NES Classic.
Yeah, me too. I saw that and I was like, oh, they're making like a SNES Mini. I was like, no, it's a new thing. I'm like, didn't Atari go bankrupt?
Yeah.
I was like, what are they doing?
Is it
Did
like?
they get crowdfunded back?
Yes, James.
James, give us the information.
So the long history on Atari.
Give us a short
was
history.
Basically, in like the 80s, they got bought out by Warner, and then like in the late 80s, they got bought out again by I think Mattel, and then they just went on through the 90s.
A downward spiral.
Yeah, until they got bought up by Infogrames, and then Infogrames in like 2005 changed their name to Atari.
What's
then-
Infogrames?
Atari,
Infogrames used to
apparently.
make computer games.
So, wait, a company bought Atari and then changed their name to Atari.
Yeah, and then they went bankrupt in 2013.
It's like Europe suddenly decided to be called Prague, and then all of Europe crashes into the ground.
Yeah, so they filed for bankruptcy, and now they've released a bunch of like mobile games, and like they've put out like Roller Coaster Tycoon and games like that.
Love Roller Coaster
So-
Tycoon.
That's Atari?
Oh, that coaster,
Yeah,
Planet Coaster.
so
That was a good game.
they've been trying to rebuild their company, and their latest venture is to like put advertising in like Blade Runner, and they're making a new console that's like preloaded with a bunch of old 2600 games.
So it's like
It is an NES
an
classic.
Atari classic, basically.
It is, but
they
it
making-
also has like modern stuff on it.
Like,
So it's gonna have like Netflix and streaming stuff on it.
Oh, so
That's
a
kinda-
better NES
that's
classic.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
It runs
I
off
mean-
of
So like a
Linux.
jailbroken PS4.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's like let's take this
But-
GameCube and
Are they
put some
making-
Netflix on it.
Yeah.
But $250 though. That's
Are they
just
making
250?
new games?
250.
I thought it was 200.
No, it's two. He.
Alright,
I
that's
think
worse.
it's.
The
250,
email that
yeah.
I got from Atari, because I signed up for it when it first came out, for like news updates. The email was all about like telling us that it's coming soon, and we're gonna have like a list of third-party developers who are making new games for it and such, because they're trying to be like, it's a nostalgia box, but it's also a new thing.
What
Please
is
buy
its,
this.
What is its hardware capabilities
No.
though? Like, is a developer going to be limited to like
How much is
basically
the
making a
Xbox-
game for the Atari?
Xbox One X
Okay.
coming out for?
So
That's like
let me
350, I wanna
the
read.
say.
350.
Yeah, and
So,
Switch is 300.
Let me
So
read
100
the
more.
email that they sent
Yeah.
me. So, they sent me a
Mm.
couple pictures of the prototype, and it's got like
can't
there's
wait to
one
get a
with like wood paneling on the front,
Okay, that's
Oh
cool.
god.
and they've confirmed it's real wood.
Oh,
Oh.
that's actually pretty nice.
That's kind of nice.
So the Atari box will be powered by an AMD customized processor with Radeon graphics technology. It'll run
Okay.
Linux with a customized, easy-to-use user interface.
Okay.
Okay,
Don't know what any of that is.
it's fine.
Will they like put out new games for like the Atari box?
Yeah, that's what they're calling
Yeah.
it, the Atari box.
Well, no, they like 2018. Look forward to Space Invaders 2018.
Well, if it's running AMD and Radeon, it
Is that good?
yeah, they're it's not Intel, but it's AMD. I like AMD.
Yeah.
Like it's not like they're doing like, hey, it's just basic stuff. Why are y'all?
Because I have nothing to contribute to hardware
got you.
graphics, so I'm like, okay, sit here, look pretty.
Hardware. It's Radeon is basically AMD's.
Pokemon.
Radeon is
Digimon.
AMD's like
Oh.
graphics card without being an integrated graphics card. Like it's an
And does
external
integrated
graphics
just
card.
mean it separates its wires by color?
Wow. It means it's like built in and you can't change it, and it's got its own set specs and it can't go past that. Like when you get a basic laptop, you have an integrated graphics card, unless it tells you otherwise. It'll tell you like Radeon or NVIDIA inside. Otherwise, your CPU is kind of doing the work of the GPU too. Okay.
So to be clear about the Atari box, so
That's a dumb name. Can we just agree on that? Atari box?
No, no. What's dumb is the Xbox One X, but we're not gonna talk.
No, that's hilarious.
No,
like,
it's horrible.
It sounds like a screen name. The Xbox One XXX420.
but yeah,
Can't wait for the
so
new mascot.
apparently this thing is shipping in the spring of next year, like real
just-
soon.
Is that a
Um,
test?
Yeah, it's,
They're launching an
they
Indiegogo
do
this
it.
fall for it.
I'm so tired of Indiegogos
So-
and Kickstarters and Roosters.
So basically, what they're trying to do is they're gonna be like doing like special editions on their Indiegogo, is what the email sounds like. And this is what I'm guessing is that they're probably gonna use the money from the Indiegogo to
at Jimmy.
fund the licensing fees for third parties.
Okay.
That's what I'm guessing.
All right.
And also $250 is the like basic package. That's like the lowest price.
That's so bad. That's terrible.
Because they're like, we plan on shipping late spring 2018 with an expected price range of $249 to $299.
It ships with
No.
a free Yuya. What was that device? That was like, it's like a
Ouya?
tick. Yeah, Yuya. It ships with a free one of those, right?
Oh, that was the one that played like your Android games on your TV, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It was supposed to be like a killer because it's super small and
The Atari box is really neat looking though. It's super thin and like sleek, but
Yeah, I like the design. I like a lot of what they're saying. My problem is the price tag.
the price is a little up there.
Yeah.
I can go get a
What's the-
PS4 Slim for that price.
I mean, bring back those Atari games. Like that's like the mid '80s stuff. Like you could run that basically on an iPhone and still have time to run a movie on it.
Yeah.
They already do.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
that's why I'm
games
like,
on-
like what,
on
Space
phone.
Invaders? There's so many better versions of that. out.
without getting the specifics of what type of Radeon it is or what type of AMD, just saying we have an AMD and a Radeon isn't telling me too much because I think, if I remember correctly, the Xbox runs on an AMD and a Radeon. But is it going to be competitive? Is it going to compete with new gen, or is it going to compete with
No.
last gen, or is it going to compete with like 3 gens ago?
I think
like,
it's just
where
gonna-
are we working?
Since this is Atari and their net worth is like $1 million,
Aw.
Oh.
this is probably going to be, I'm going to say Xbox 360 level.
See, okay, why would I buy that though? Nostalgia or Atari fans even as like into it as like, because like with the Switch, I know it's while it is
Switch.
cool with the mobility and stuff, it's still pretty much running comparatively to last gen, sans the moving around. But Nintendo fanboys are Nintendo fanboys, and they'll buy anything Nintendo makes.
And it's not
Speaking
just
of
that.
which, can someone loan me $300 so I could buy a Switch?
Hush.
So the thing about the Nintendo Switch versus the Atari box, one, the Nintendo Switch is portable.
Yeah.
Two, it has physical hardware. This
Yeah.
thing doesn't look like it does.
It doesn't.
And another thing is, it has original
what it
first-party
looks like.
titles.
Yeah.
I don't think
Oh my
Atari
goodness, it
is
looks
going
like
to
a
make
VCR.
any interesting first-party titles anytime
They should
soon.
choose a different lighting for that.
It looks like a CD player.
It does look like a CD player.
You know what it reminds me of? The Linksys internet box that you buy from Best
Yes.
Buy.
Yes.
That's what, especially with that little symbol lit up in the.
Yeah, it
Plus, they
looks
could have
like a
had better
little-
And use the little
like a router.
antennae.
Yeah. That do nothing.
I get the want to come back, but I don't think Atari fans are gonna drop money on it like Nintendo fans did. Because Nintendo
No.
fans, I know people who paid for Mario Run, and that's an $11 mobile game, and people dropped money on that.
That's Nintendo. They've had a cultural deadlock on
They-
our generation.
Yeah.
And the previous one at that.
I have zero love for Nintendo.
I don't know. Whenever I go somewhere and I'll find
ever
like
Bayonetta?
a really old,
I've never played
just chilling there
like
Atari, and
games
I'm
like
like,
that.
that's cool. But then I
Fighting
move on with my life. I don't like buy
Yeah.
it or anything. I'm just
And,
like,
like,
that's cool. Bye.
I feel like Atari
don't need it.
companies like that should try and bring back the arcade market.
Yeah.
Because like there's a local card shop we go to, and it's got pinball. I waste so much money in the pinball room. Like, I drop 10, 20 bucks playing pinball, and it's like
Nice.
75 cents a round. Like, things like that, if they would focus on bringing back maybe arcade cabinets, trying to like get rid of Dave & Buster's, and just, we need to, arcades don't exist around here because, one, they're technically gambling in South Carolina. Fun fact.
That's dumb.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't keep that, if you don't keep those little stickers inspected and up to date, 2 dudes in suits will come in and try and rough you up for your money.
Ugh.
And it's 500 per day, 500 per machine per day late on the fees.
Dang.
Yeah, no, it's not worth having arcade cabinets. And so like, if companies like that would maybe push for arcades, like, hey, maybe we should make new, or I don't know, arcade cabinets, or
I love an arcade around here. That's
sell
not
their
Dave
soul to
&
Dave and Buster's and be like, hey, we have
Well, there's Dave & Buster's in
Galaga, I don't
Columbiana.
know.
Yeah, it's the only Dave & Buster's in the state.
It's terrible.
No,
Don't
there's
waste
one
your
up in
money.
Greenville.
Is there really?
Yeah, around
Yeah.
that area.
Are you
Yeah.
sure?
And that might be Florida, but yeah, there's a Frankie's Fun Park. I know that's for
But
there.
Frankie's and
They've got the same machines.
Modern arcades aren't arcades. They have like a couple of arcade games, and then the rest of them are mobile games now. Chuck E. Cheese is the last place I actually saw a good arcade.
I mean, I
But
can
even then,
kick
it's
you
still terrible.
in skee-ball.
Not the ones in
Let's
New
go.
Jersey. The ones in
New
New
Jersey.
Jersey. New Jersey. When,
Joyzy.
when I
Joyzy.
nannied, it was like Guitar Hero, Galaga, Pac-Man,
could get on that. Are you
skee-ball,
kidding?
crane games. Like, there was no
That's
Candy
great.
Crush. It was
Yeah.
like arcade,
I
and then
love
you go to
crane
Dave & Buster's, and
games.
it's
I will waste so much
Candy
money.
Crush.
You know what?
Candy Crush
On a
is in Dave
crane
&
game.
Buster's.
Oh, crane game. Those things are rigged so
Yeah.
hard.
I know.
The
but I
one
will
where you can
spend
stack the lights
so much
all the way
money.
to the top.
No, that's
I've,
just
I've
dumb.
almost won that probably 50 times.
No.
Oh,
I
hold on. I was thinking, I know it's pretty rare, but
Yeah.
Atari, like if they wanted something that's long lasting, they should have gone for the handheld market because Nintendo, like they've got the
Yeah.
Switch and 3DS, but they're the only people in that market. Like Sony,
yeah, the
Microsoft.
Vita. Rest in peace.
Well, that's still big in Japan.
Listen, there's a dude in. There's a guy in my computer class who has that like PlayStation phone that you could like push up and it had the like controllers in it.
Yeah.
Vita.
He like I looked over. It wasn't the Vita. It was the cell phone. they used to make a PlayStation cell phone where instead of a keyboard, it was a controller. And I look over and this dude's like sitting there like playing on like a cell phone from like 2000 and like
Wow.
10. He's just like playing a game instead of doing programming. And I'm like, you're going places in life, buddy. That thing looks like it's been through war.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Great.
But
The Switch is pretty cool. Like, we'll
my
walk
God.
past in McMaster, and there's always this chick sitting at a table just...
see,
And I'm like,
I
awesome.
wouldn't mind the Switch for the party games, because there's, what is it, that 1-2 switch game where it's like you have to, one person holds the blue controller, one person holds the red controller, and then you like shoot each other and see who can do it the
Oh.
fastest, or you can shave, or you have to milk a cow.
Yeah.
That's kinda
PETA
fun.
got mad at them about the cow milking game.
Why?
Peter knows everything.
Well, because
Why?
a Nintendo of America rep actually went to, there is a national cow milking contest brought on by like the Milk Association of America, whatever. So a Nintendo rep went, and they were basically like, we're gonna do a round of actually milking a cow, and then we're gonna do a round on the Switch. And Nintendo's like, or PETA was like, cows and they shouldn't, and milk is terrible, and how dare you do this, and you need to make a warning sign anytime someone plays the game about how terrible it is to like have cows getting milked and stuff. I'm like, PETA, no one cares.
Yeah.
I mean, it's terrible, but that's a
You know,
whole
PETA
nother
made a
thing.
Pokemon game.
And they got sued.
What?
Yeah, because they used it was during Black and White. I remember that. It was like chained up versions of the like cute little mascots.
And they called it Pokemon, and they had it on their website.
Yeah.
And it was like,
And they got their butts sued by
oh yeah,
Nintendo.
it's like gone. I think you could probably find it on like some archive on
It's
the
gonna be like
internet.
Pepsi Man in 20 years. It's like,
Oh
hey,
my
have you seen the
gosh.
PETA Pokemon game?
That was terrible, but the PETA reps are crazy because
Yeah, have you seen their ads? Like they compare like
there was a mom who was a crazy. She was like really high up in PETA. This is allegedly. I don't know if it's a true story. I think it
Fat
actually
heifer.
is though. She lost her mind at Nintendo because it was called Pokemon Leaf Green, and she assumed that leaf green meant drugs, and she was like screaming at Nintendo, screaming at her kid. It caused her to have like a divorce. She was like breaking her kid's like Game Boy and stuff. It was like she went nuts because she was
she
like,
had bigger issues than the
Yeah,
name of the
right?
game. Yeah, she was probably the same one that said Harry Potter was
What
satanic.
you mean?
everyone thinks that though. My aunt thinks that.
Harry Potter what?
Harry Potter
is
satanic.
Satanic, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
Even if it is.
Listen, my
Let's
aunt,
go.
my aunt used to not teach her son about the dinosaurs, so
Why? Dinosaurs are the best.
listen.
I have a
If we had some dinosaur toys right now, I wouldn't even been talking. I'd be
had a
like trying to
coworker
fight them.
who no
I
longer
want
works
a good dinosaur video
there
game.
anymore,
Monster
but
Hunter?
he assumed that dinosaurs are now lizards, and that the gravity made the dinosaurs tiny into lizards.
That's exactly how it worked, even though they're giant birds. But
I mean, weirdly, no, but also a little bit yes,
And
because
that-
they
that's
are.
water.
cute. That's cute though.
Water started in the sky. The ocean was in the sky.
I mean, there are giant, basically like our ocean's worth of water just floating around in
There
space. So it's
are,
entirely
but-
possible,
But
but,
he's
that's
like
so dumb.
super Christian.
That's beautiful.
At the same
Oh
time.
yeah, I went to one of
I-
them schools.
I want like another. I want to play Horizon Zero Dawn, but that requires me to have a PlayStation.
I was about to say, if you have that, you can borrow mine. I do not find
I-
that game fun.
I do not have the money for Sony right now. I just don't. I was trying to sell off my Xbox to get money. But I want like.
Head to GameStop, like, yo man, what you got?
What you got?
What you have?
But no, like, Far Cry Primal was cool, but it wasn't dinosaurs. It was past the dinosaur era, so we had like saber-tooth tigers.
Yeah.
Okay, cavemen, cool. I want like something like Turok, but not Turok. I want like dinosaurs
Robo dinosaurs.
and not Ark.
Dinosaurs.
And not Ark Survival either.
What about Lego Jurassic Park?
I'd play it.
I play it.
I'd play
it's
it.
fun.
I low-key want the Lego Dimensions, not even gonna front.
Just play Pokemon. Just use the
Lego
fossil
Batman
Pokemon.
is my favorite.
Have
It's
you
so great.
have you looked at the Lego Dimensions game? It's like
My-
Skylanders, but you can actually play with them.
Yeah,
Oh.
my little brother's got that.
Yeah,
they love that.
You get a set and it comes with like a dimension portal, but you can have like Chell from Portal, like in the Batman universe, driving like Bart Simpson or Homer Simpson's car.
That's
like you
great.
can mix
Those
and
things
match
are
everything, and it's so
insanely
cool.
expensive though. Like,
They're very expensive, but at least
It's like
in their defense, you can play with them. Skylanders just
You can
kind of
have
go
with
bit, bit,
amiibos,
bit, 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 bit. You
Yeah.
can't really play with an amiibo.
I've
you
got a full
can,
set of Fire Emblem amiibos.
but you can't really play with
I
them.
have a
though.
Samus
Are you kidding me? I
amiibo,
made,
and
Lucina
I
and
don't know
Robin
what to
kiss.
do with it. I don't. Does
Just
anybody
kidding.
want a Samus amiibo? Because I don't. I wanted at a convention once. I wanted the what's it called when it's like a 4 girls anime? It's a
Kirby.
no. I don't know. Whatever.
James, Google.
It's like
Shoujo?
Shoujo. That's it.
Yeah,
I was doing.
get them shoujo legs.
I pushed all my money into that. Like here, I want to win this box that they had of all of this anime merchandise and games and stuff, and I put 1 ticket into the gaming bag, and nobody claimed it for like 10 people when they were calling out tickets, and then it was like this number, and I'm like, that's me. What? So I got like a full badge set from Pokemon and like
Oh, that's really cool.
a t-shirt. I got that t-shirt, the Fallout t-shirt from that bag.
What's your Fallout shirt have on it?
It's just Pip-Boy.
Oh, the Vault
Radiation.
Boy, yeah.
Yeah. And Samus amiibo. I was like, I don't know what to do with this. I don't need amiibos, but she's cool. She's like a little figure.
I mean,
That's
just keep
cool.
her. She's cool. No,
Yeah. I haven't taken her out of her package though, in case I have to like. Do people sell those things?
Yes, James.
All right, guys. I think we've been going. It's like we're at like the 33-minute mark. So let's transition to. I think you wanted to talk about Rooster Teeth.
They're on their 1,000,000th Kickstarter.
Which is
and it's
dumb.
a Ruby board game. And it's not the Ruby board game we were promised. Back when they were doing season 2, it opens up with them in the library playing this like mixture of Dungeons and Dragons meets Magic the Gathering meets like Risk. And they're like, we actually made the game to figure out how to write the script for it. Y'all are probably gonna get it. And we're like, yes, that sounds so fun. And now I've seen the concept art for it, and like I like the prototypes of it, and it's like, it just looks, I don't know how to describe it other than you get like really crummy cardboard figures of each little character on like a little plastic peg, and you move them around a board, and you got
Like
some
Monopoly?
sliders. Yeah, it almost looks like a weird, like, it just, it's nothing like we were promised, and I'm just annoyed. And this is, listen, I understand kickstarting or Indiegogoing Laser Team. That was their first full silver screen movie. That's a lot of money. But then they did $1 Million Butt, which did not need to be a card game. That was dumb. Because it's like, have you heard of $1 Million Butt?
No.
It started off as a segue in what they would do in the podcasts. They'd go like, $1 Million Butt, you one day you're gonna get assassinated by a snail. Don't know when, don't know how. The snail will kill you one day. Cool. And that's what it like spiraled into. It's like $1 Million Butt, you know, every time
$1 million butt.
Yeah.
I thought you said bud. I was
no,
like,
$1
are they
Million
chewing?
Butt. No, so it's like, you know, snail's gonna kill you, or every time you use the restroom, it's live streamed. Like stuff like that.
Oh, they had those memes for a really
You
long
can
time.
make money off of that.
They turned that concept into a small show where they would do like, it'd be like this, they'd have beers, and then they'd do skits of it.
Oh, okay.
That was cool. Then they turned it into a card game. And that was already bad. I don't know a single person other than those like really, those die-hard Rooster Teeth fans who bought it, and it's like, hey, here's a card, and it's like Cards Against Humanities, but not
Yeah.
fun. It's just not fun, and that got
Cards Against
kickstarted.
Humanity is so much fun.
It's great.
It is.
I love Cards Against Humanities,
Have you
but
seen their
like,
expansion pack names? It's like Cards Adjust Humidity. There's one where it just gives you $1.
yeah, and then there's like the
Called a rebate.
there's the big black box, and you have to cut it open, and there's like an
The
extra
bigger
card
black
and-
box.
Yeah, but like, so they're doing another Kickstarter, and I wouldn't have an issue if it didn't seem like every time they did some event, they were raising money for it.
Yeah.
Over the weekend, they did something called the Let's Play Family Reunion, where they had like Achievement Hunter is in Austin. All the other Let's Play channels are basically out in California. Like Kinda Funny, Sugar Pine 7, all Funhouse and Cow Chop are all in LA. So they're really far away, and they never do things together. So they did that. I was like, that sounds cool. And then I saw that they were raising money for it, and I was like,
But why?
they dropped the ball because they announced it like a week and a half before it happened, and they were wanting like, I think $100,000 to do
Oh my
it.
gosh.
And I'm like, they barely got the 30,000 mark where Jeff had to cook for everybody. I'm like, this is like a month after they did a live stream of a crowdfunding thing for something else, and it's like, y'all can't keep asking people for money.
No.
Like, this is, I already pay you like $15 a year to watch your stuff on your channel. Why am I gonna pay you $5 to make something I don't care about? I'm gonna get a board game. It's cool that this board game's actually made by a major board game company.
Hasbro?
No, it's not Hasbro. It's one that makes tabletop games. Like that's what they specialize in. But it's not Wizards
But
of
it's
the
not a
Coast.
good game.
It's not. It's
So,
What's the game?
I'm looking it up now because
What's
it's
it based
not.
on?
It's based off
Ruby?
of Ruby, but it's not.
So why don't they have Sapphire or Amethyst?
There's a door.
good
There's a door
leave.
right there.
You
It's
can
called
go.
Ruby Combat Ready, and it's a co-op board game where 2 to 4 players
Single-player
join
board
forces to take on Ruby villains and slay Grimm.
Did you say single player board game?
Multiplayer.
No, I was like, well, funny would that
Yeah,
be if they just had-
cooperative. It's a cooperative.
Okay.
No, a
game.
single player board game.
Oh man.
I've played single player board games. It's called Titanic, and my family wouldn't play it with me.
Wait, you mean
Titanic.
Battleship?
No,
No,
there's a
Titanic.
Titanic board game
Like
where you
based on
start
a James
off in
Cam-
you start off in steerage and you have to make your way up to the lifeboat. And if you don't, and whoever gets to the lifeboat, everyone else dies. There's only one winner in that game.
It's like the Oregon Trail, except everybody dies because dysentery.
That's what happens in the
They've-
Oregon Trail as well.
They have,
gosh.
and this is how much like I love everything Rooster Teeth does, but this is insane. They still have a month to go. They need $250,000. They are at $224,000. Like I don't understand, and they're doing. I think they're doing another Kickstarter to raise more content for the Ruby video game.
Which
Wait,
I
they're making a
like.
video game as well?
They have a Ruby video game. It was a fan game. They bought the fan game and the creator basically, and brought him on to make games.
I like
Oh,
that.
Wait, so
but
are they
the-
licensed to make these games? Like, will the Ruby creators like sue them or something?
No, okay. The fan did it
No.
and wasn't charging money for it, so they had no issue with that. They're like, hey, if you want to continue the game, how about we hire you? And the guy's like, well, sure, I'll get hired by Rooster Teeth.
It's like the little Unity game for Attack on Titan.
so like
I don't.
Oh, it's fine.
it.
It's whatever. Came out
It's-
a while ago.
You know what
I'm
it looks?
sorry.
It
Like,
looks
back when I was in
like
high school a while ago.
there's a board game I play called
4 years ago.
Epic Wizards of Mount Epic or Battle Wizards or something.
Boo.
And
Battle
it's actually really fun, but it's got cards and you have like a almost looks like a bingo board with your health on it. I don't know how to describe it other than it just looks like that. It's got like health
the
and
Ruby
dice and decks for each character,
So it's a rip off
and
of Yu-Gi-Oh.
it looks just terrible.
Where do
and-
your players even go? Looking at this board, they don't go anywhere.
Well, see, with Epic Battle Wizards or whatever it's called, your characters
like
don't
a
go
stat
anywhere.
no, I
square.
meant Ruby.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not Ruby,
don't-
that's Wooby. Ruby.
Ruby.
Wooby.
Ruby.
Ruby.
Wooby.
Not Wooby.
Or that's a W.
That is a W, but it's
Hold
pronounced
on, now say it in
Ruby.
German. Ruby.
Okay.
Ruby,
'Cause-
Weiss,
Blake and Yang. And they are
That's
Blake.
their two
Where'd that
names.
come
Blake-
from?
Blake is her name.
Yeah.
There's 4 girls.
And
their
they're-
team name
yes.
is Ruby because
Okay.
that's all their names together.
And they're and they're also red, white, black, and yellow. Yeah. That's how all of the things are named. But like it's,
Wait,
think about it too hard.
is that like a skin thing?
No, it's their hair color and like
Arcane-
the
You
Sure, because you
dressage.
said
okay. The board game company is Arcane Wonders, who's done Sheriff of Nottingham,
Yeah.
Viral, and Mage Wars, 2 board games I've never heard of.
Maid Wars.
Mage.
Oh,
Mage
I was
Wars.
interested for like 2 seconds there.
That would have been cool. But
Maid Wars.
you,
But it's MADE wards.
yeah, they have separate
ID.
No.
decks
D.
and actions and moves, and I'm not a huge fan of crowdfunding in the first place. It's not that it's not. I don't find it lazy. I just find it that it hasn't worked out for a lot of companies. There was a game I really had hoped was going to come out, but they refused to crowdfund. So because they refused to crowdfund, they never got investors. So they turned the game into a comic book. But it's called Year of the Ladybug, and it was basically supposed to be a spiritual successor to
That sounds
Silent
cute.
Hill.
That sounds cute.
It was really cool, but they refused to crowdfund. So instead, they're now turning it into a comic because that's easier to get investors than video games because comics take a lot less money
Yes.
than a video game. But like, it's worked for some games.
I think
and
it
then
would
Pillars
have
of
been cool
Eternity.
as a video game. 'cause
Pillars of Eternity. Of course, that was Obsidian doing that.
I think it would have been cool as a video game.
Oh, and the concept art is gorgeous, but it's 3 guys who have worked on AAA games, but none of them are. They were all the designers, they don't know how to develop a game. So that was the huge problem, was they're artists and they're story writers that had these huge grandiose ideas, and devs were like, ooh,
No.
you thought you could do that and you can't.
Aw.
So they're coming out with a comic, and that sounds a lot cooler actually, because horror comics are a must.
Yes, please.
But I don't know. I feel like it's so, and I don't understand why Rooster Teeth in particular is needing a crowdfund. They got bought out by Fullscreen, which is a subsidiary of AT&T. Why do you need money? Like, the channels that don't make, like Cow Chop is one of their channels, and it doesn't make extra content for the Rooster Teeth website, so they don't get a lot of money from that. And I understand that, so they had to make a Patreon because their entire YouTube channel is demonetized. It will never get money again. So they had to make a Patreon. Whatever, $5 a month, I don't care. If they're not making extra money from the yearly subscriptions, cool. But that's Patreon, that's paying, I don't know. Patreon's different than Kickstarter, because Kickstarter, you're expecting a product, might not ever come out. It could come out and not be the way you wanted it. It's just, Kickstarters put out a lot of things that ended up being really disappointing.
I mean, Kickstarter is basically a video game where you just pay, like, you're basically a stock investor. It's like, ooh, let's pay off. No, it didn't.
No, it's not. It didn't, and I don't know. The board game looks bad.
It does.
It's not the way it was supposed. It's not what it was promised. And after $1 Million Butt and how not fun that was, I just don't have faith that this board game's gonna be any good. But you're also talking to somebody who enjoys, like, good board game nights.
I do like board games.
Trail and House of the Hill and Epic. I gotta remember the name. It's some ridiculously
Munchkins.
long title, but like Epic Battle Wizards of Mount Awesome or something like that.
The Great Del Moody is a card game. I don't know if you've played it, but it's good. It's good. You get to be like peasants and merchants, and then the upper class, and that depends on like how many cards you get, and like the upper class can take the 2 best cards from the peasants and give the worst card to the peasants, and the merchant class doesn't have to do anything.
That's interesting.
They just keep
that
their
sounds
own.
really fun. And then there's like Secret Hitler, which sounds really fun.
So what is that?
It's you basically someone's Hitler but no one knows who's Hitler, and everybody has to try and assassinate Hitler. But like get rid of like the fascist party and stuff like that. But the fascists want to like rise to the top. So your goal is to like kill off Hitler.
It's kind of like that game in Gmod. I don't know. It's that one person is the murderer, and you have to like, and you're like
Murderer?
standing in a circle.
You mean that
I think
game
it's
that you
called
play with
Murderer.
friends?
Oh, I was thinking of the hide and seek one where you can turn into like a trash can.
Oh, that's Prop Hunt.
I've got to figure out how to get Prop Hunt to work.
It's so fun. I just always turn into a soda can and then hide in a corner or on a roof or something.
I don't know how to work Gmod, so all I am in is like the pre-build area
Yes.
with like the garage. But
It's fine.
we need a board game night.
We do.
We need to just like bust out the board games one day.
I'll bring Oregon Trail.
How is that as a board game?
Fantastic.
Really?
You get your supply cards and you have your trail cards, and the way it works is you have your starting point and your destination in 2 cards. And you put down a trail, and that trail could be pick up a calamity card or roll to forge the river, to ford the river. And if you pick up a calamity card, you can pick it up, and the first card you get could be snake bite, you're dead, and you're out of the game. Like, they give you gravestones you can write on.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Because you just die of dysentery, you drown, you get bit by a snake, whatever. And the goal is to do 10 stacks of 5. So you put down 5 cards in the trail, and then you stack them and do another 5, and then
That
stack
sounds
them.
pretty
You have to
great.
do 10, and it's so hard to win. It's so hard.
that sounds pretty good.
Because at random points, if you
You get
don't
snake
ford the
bit.
river on the first try, which is an even number on your die, you give away a supply card. So you're slowly losing food, water, medicine, like oxen. You break your cart, your oxen die, the water is bad. Like, so you have to start giving supply cards to live.
That
or you
sounds-
get like
Yeah.
a sickness for you need 1 clean water and 1 medicine or 2 medicine to
That
survive
sounds really, really
until
fun.
the next round, and it's so hard.
But, thanks everybody.
Yeah.
This was the first week of, Cocky Gamers. I enjoyed having y'all. I'll see who's gonna be here next week. Hopefully I'll see y'all again. Probably not.
Please don't put us back in the dungeon.
Oh
don't
no,
wanna
that's
go
where you
back in the
belong
dungeon.
though.
I don't want to go there.
But thanks everybody,
Why are you so pale?
It's dark, it's moist.
Thanks to the Kennedy Greenhouse for having us, and
Yeah.
I'll see y'all next week.
Yeah,
Bye.
that's it.